guilty of crime.
Hello, everybody. What's up? I am Jay with Guilty of Crime, and it looks like I'm wearing a shirt of myself. Oh, wait, I am. What's up, y'all? Some of the merch came in, everybody. How's it going? I don't know what the confusion is, y'all, but today we're talking about Emily Pike, a 14-year-old girl that was found dismembered. Yes, dismembered, different body parts in different bags, hands and legs missing, you guys. And why did the police try to keep this a secret? Now, there's a whole huge thing. I'll stop and say, what's up, everybody? You guys, this is not about Madeline Soto or Jen Soto or Stephen Stearns or anybody like that. This is about Emily Pike, a 14-year-old girl. And I'm not going to tell you the story how anybody else told you the story, because there's updates in the story. There's connections in the story to other bodies in that same area. And nobody was looking at the group home, which there were 30 people that went missing. There were 89 phone calls out of that group home about missing children, and 30 absolutely vanished from that group home in the last 3 years. And another body found by Emily Pike as well. You guys, this thing is bigger than I think you guys realize. I know it's missing an indigenous, it's indigenous people, and people aren't paying attention. I know it's a whole movement. They got the red paint on their mouth, and Emily Pike, being a 14-year-old girl, being dismembered, certain body parts being there, certain body parts not. You guys, if you're not following this case, you should. You guys, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and get a membership if you can. It's not just sad, Britt. It's a whole other level of evil. All right. Rest in peace to Emily Pike, but there's a huge problem going on there. You guys, there's a huge problem. Now, this is in Arizona. This is in Mesa, Arizona. Now, this is not the only place this is happening. I wanted to say hi before I got into the story, you guys. But hey, whatever you guys want to do, I can do it. I'll tell you where it is in a minute, because I want to get into it. It's in Mesa, Arizona. You should be following the Emily Pike, 14-year-old that was dismembered. Okay, this thing is crazy. Yes, hashtag MMIW. I've got that in there. Rest in peace, Emily Pike. But today I'm going to tell you a story not just about Emily Pike, but you're not even going to believe what I'm telling you. Like, it doesn't even make sense. Yes, indigenous women are sadly overlooked, along with sex workers and runaways. But that's not even this story. This story is mind-blowing. Like, I don't even understand what's happening here. First of all, it's a special kind of evil to dismember someone and then take certain body parts with you and leave certain body parts, okay? That's a whole other level of evil. But then you gotta just see my perspective today. Something's up with this group home, you guys. This cannot be coincidental. I don't care what you think. So I'm going to present my way today. Emily Pike found dismembered, 14 years old. Why the police are keeping it a secret. And when you're an indigenous group and you're off in the San Carlos Apache tribe, they don't have to report this to the regular police, the law enforcement. They are their own. They're doing their own thing. As a matter of fact, they did their own thing so terrible that they waited a week to even tell this little girl's mom that she was missing. And then 3 weeks later, they find body parts in a bag. My God, you guys, welcome in. Before I start telling the story, and then everyone comes back and says, "What are you talking about?" We got some 420 membership gifting coming up in memory of Foxy's brother. We have lots of giveaways, folks. The tribal police, yes, but you guys are going to be like, okay, if I heard about this story, I didn't hear about this part, because all of this is just coming out right now. It's all just coming out, just spewing out today. And that's why I knew I needed to tell it. I don't know what's going on with this world, you guys. Tribal police is one thing. Group homes that have 30 children that vanish and never come back is a whole other story. But no, it doesn't stop there. It doesn't stop there, you guys. And I haven't even got to that yet. I hadn't even got to that. Justice for Emily. And Orlando says, but a long time ago, the government took the Indian children away from their families to be groomed by American. So many went missing. Horrible. Well, we don't even know why Emily Pike was taken away from her mother, you guys. We don't even know. It's very unclear. Something bad is going on. All right. I'm not muted. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Leanne. My volume is all the way up. Can you guys not hear me? I don't know. I am not muted. Everything's as high as it can go. It almost didn't let me on today because it said there were too many people streaming. Okay, so justice for Emily. Before I get to that, I just want to show you. I want to thank Tiff, first of all. Tiff, our new merch store girl. And welcome, Tiff Knox. You as well. If you want to get some merch out and I can put it out and you give us a special code, I'd love to. I just got some cute little crime crew thing. And I got some little guilty of crime bracelets if you want some for your kids. But listen, I got some merch in. We did all kinds of different prints for me. It says guilty of crime. It's almost the exact same size in my head with the microphone. So that's just a special order for me. I'm also making other designs. Also, dude, this is a badass hoodie, guys. This is a badass hoodie. Right. And before I get into the story, Clark, just want to show the merch. Thank you, Tiff. You rock. Reese loved her surprise, and it just the quality perfect, on point quality. All right, on point. So there's the guilty of crime with my face and the background logo. We have several different kinds, every kind you could think of we have, and just I gotta tell you, prices are really low and the quality is fantastic. So if you guys want to get something, I suggest you get it. This is going to be the only run that we do with this logo. Okay. I redrew this. This is a revectored guilty of crime with the rainbow. And somebody said, "Oh, didn't the Chomo do it?" And I said, "No, he sent me some JPEG crap. Chomo didn't do that. We redrew it and recreated it. But we don't want any chance. So this is a very limited edition shirt. I'm going to be doing some giveaways, you guys. Yes, Tiff is a mother trucking G. She is mother trucking G. I mean, the quality is like I like quality stuff. I don't do shitty stuff. So like if you're into horror and you want horror, no, this is my deal. I love this. So, any and every way you want it. Love the quality. Thank you, Tiff. Tiff's a G. She's also one of our new mods on here. Darlene, love you too. So we just lightened up a little bit. We got some dope ass merch. And it's not even about trying to make money. I'm trying to build the community, get you guys good quality items for really low. All right. Now, I just bought a Dolly sweatshirt, Dolly Vision, and I love his designs. It costed me $70 for a Dolly Vision hoodie. And I was like, oh my goodness, dear Lord. And Tiff got me a whole box of stuff for not that much. So our queen of merchandise, Tiff, hooks it up, looking good. Thank you. Quality's unexpectedly good. All right, that's all I'm gonna say. Clark, I got you, girl. I got you. I got you. The bracelets, super cute. Reese got gifted some stuff from Tiff, and everyone knows that when Reese is happy, Mama J is happy. All right. Dolly's comes with Dolly. Yeah, you get Dolly and PJ. Now I'm not throwing any shade. I paid $70, but I don't want to sell you guys $70 merch. I want to make sure we're all good. All right, now let's get into this. All mistreated children need to be talked about. I cannot do and I will not do Madeline Soto every single damn day. Synth, I just ordered a ton of stuff too, and you will be very happy when you get yours. I guarantee you. The stickers, the bracelets, the hoodies, the long sleeve shirts, the shirts. I mean, it was like Christmas. I love Dolly. Don't ever take that out of context. Dolly does candles. Dolly does dope merchandise, and he hand makes stuff. I don't do shit. All right. I don't do shit. I just tell the girls how to do it, and I send them some stuff, and they do it. So that's it. It's all good though. Hey, I spent $70, and I'll show you when I get the Dolly merch. I'm sure it's gonna be dope. All right. Dolly's a trip, but I like him. I like PJ. You order on my website, girlfriend. You go on to guiltyofcrime.com and you hit the merch store, buy merch. You can contact me there. You can do whatever you want. Guiltyofcrime.com. All right. Now, let's get into this episode since everybody's here now. I did not want to start and then everybody come back and say, what the hell are you talking about, Jay? Emily Pike, 14 years old, a member of the San Carlos Apache tribe, went missing from her group home in Mesa, Arizona in late January 2025. Notice I say late January 2025 because unlike, let's say, Madeline Soto, we don't have an exact date and time because nobody even said anything about it. Nobody called it in. Nobody did anything. They let this 14-year-old little girl just run off. She did, or she ran away. She did. She had ran away a couple times. Doesn't matter. You bring her butt back and you do what you need to do. That didn't happen. That didn't happen. All right. Dolly still ain't covered this case. This just started. That's why it's a crazy case. What's embarrassing to admit? Oh, you hit the mute button. All right. What's up, y'all? This case is just out of this world. All right. So this little girl goes missing January 2025. Emily Pike. She was last seen near Mesa Drive and McKellips Road, where the group home was. She walked out. We saw her on video. I'm going to show you. You know, I'm a visual person. Tragically, her body was dismembered. It was discovered on freaking Valentine's Day, February 14, 2025, right? Last month in a forested area near Globe, Arizona, 100 miles away from where she was last seen. Literally just black bags, black trash bags, body parts missing. Now, this investigation has been challenging. They say there's no suspects or persons of interest identified yet because all they have is some surveillance footage, very minimal people calling in, worried about it, no tips, nothing. All right. They haven't disclosed the surveillance footage that they have. I'm sure there's other things. Now, just yesterday, I believe, a multi-agency task force has been formed to solve the case in San Carlos Apache tribe. They offered $75,000 for any information leading to an arrest. But I got to tell you guys, that group home person that's talking, I'm not happy with that group home person that's talking. He's not answering questions the way I'd like it to. And I don't like when 30 children go missing that disappear. And I'm going to let you guys listen to the phone calls. There's 89. We're not listening to 89 phone calls. There's 89 phone calls in the last 3 years of very suspicious things. It's just evil. It's evil. It's just evil, all right? So True Crime Arizona. I'm going to play a couple of clips. You're going to see the love, the family. I'm going to play some video of her. We're going to get through this. This is episode number 1. I'm going to dive into this. What up, Crime Crew? What up, Savage Barbie? You guys do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe if you can't, or subscribe if you haven't, get a membership if you can. All right, we are a fan-funded channel, so everything helps. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, Super Cash, Super Sticker, all of the above. All right, let's listen up here. I'm going to stop talking for a minute.
5, we now know the identity of a teenage girl whose remains were found off the US 60 northeast of Globe.
The girl's family tells us she went missing from a group home in Mesa at the end of January. Now they're trying to help detectives find her killer. True crime correspondent Brianna Whitney's here tonight. You spoke with her mother today. Boy, that's a tough conversation to have.
It was maybe even worse than usual just because of how grotesque this crime is. It is horrible. The teenager's name is Emily Pike, 14 years old. Her mother told me she got the news just yesterday. She wants to know what happened between the time Emily disappeared at the end of January.
Now, remember, at the end of January, they don't have an exact date. Nobody called her for an entire week to tell her that she was missing. And nobody really knows why she was in that group home. And yes, she had been running away, but why was she running away? Why did 89 children in the last 3 years run away? Now, I'm going to tell you right now, if I had a group home, there would be 89 people coming over. They'd be like, bring your friends over. Bring them over. Look at them, man. They feed us good. They let us do this. We can do that. They're great. There wouldn't be 89 people trying to leave. Something's wrong. Something's wrong, and I don't even know why they're not being investigated. You guys, I need your help to spread the word about the Emily Pike story, because they need to look at that group home and they need to investigate it. Something bad's going on, you guys. It's not just her Emily. It's not just for the indigenous. Yes, I am into that, but something's going on, Bluebell. I believe there's a reason they're running away, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. I'm not just going to talk the talk. I'm going to show you the walk.
And Valentine's Day, when her remains were discovered in trash bags on the side of a dirt road.
I wanted to say that I miss you so much, and
That's
I
right.
really hope I'll try to see if he can come visit me next time.
All right, so that gives you an idea of Emily Pike. Sweet little thing, little personality, cute little 14 years old. Didn't even look 14 to me. She actually looked younger to me, but nowadays I'm in my 40s. I can't tell. Pretty little girl. Something bad really happened. Nettie, you are not late. Never late. You're right on time. We just started. Hit the like button, please.
Teenage innocence. It's everything 14-year-old Emily Pike embodied to her family and friends.
My daughter, she was a very happy and kind person. She loves painting, she loves art, she loves to draw.
Emily's mother, Steph Dosella, tells me over the phone her daughter was hoping to go to college and pursue her love of art. That all changed in late January.
Her case manager finally came a week later to tell me that she was missing.
Emily's family lives on the San Carlos Apache Indian Reservation.
Damn,
It tells me at the time, Emily was living in a group home in Mesa. According to the Mesa Police Department, Emily was last seen alive on January 27th near Mesa Drive and McKellips Road, and the group home manager reported her missing.
Well, at least we kind of know now, January 27th. And yeah, you guys, it gets even worse. So if you guys, trigger warning to anybody, if you trigger warning, this is a very triggering real case. And thank everybody for coming in. What's up, Krista? But why didn't mom talk? Ask where she is, talk to the news. She is going to, and she does, Krista. She's actually saying something now. We just started. It's progressing every single day. Stay tuned. I'm going to answer your questions for you. Don't worry. I got you. They didn't tell the mom until a week, and we don't know why she was in a group home. We don't know why any of those kids were in a group home. We don't know if they were grooming them. We don't know if there was some kind of exchange financially. We don't know anything yet, and that's what we want. Yes, trigger warning. That's all I got to say.
This week, the Gila County Sheriff's Office said they found dismembered remains on February 14th in a wooded area off Highway 60 past Globe. According to detectives, Emily's torso and head were in
Damn,
large
dude.
contractor
Damn.
trash bags, with her legs in another.
Like I said, guys, trigger warning on that. Like I can't. It's so hard. Like it's hard when it's an adult that you're following, right? Like I studied Jeffrey Dahmer and Ted Bundy and things like that, but this is just, I mean, this is crazy. Yeah, trigger warning. And Real Gemini, thank you. You rock, right back at you. Appreciate you, all of you. Yeah, I was about to say that, Suzanne. They got a serial unaliver in the area. I'm going to tell you right now. That's what we're talking about today. 14-year-old dismembered Emily Pike. Why did the police keep it a secret? Hashtag MMIW. I think there's a serial killer in the area, guys. And I'm going to show you why. Just stay here, strap in, and listen up. I agree. Thank you, Suzanne, for catching on to that.
They have not been able to find her arms and hands.
Damn.
The autopsy showed she had visible face and head trauma.
Why did it go that far? But she's just an innocent. She was a baby. Pain that I would hope no other mother goes through.
Her mom tells me detectives have relayed to her they're looking at 3 potential suspects, but she's hoping to learn more on that soon. Anyone with information at all is urged to call the Gila County Sheriff's Office, the Bureau of Indian Affairs, or the San Carlos Apache Tribal Police. One thing her mom told me, she was going to turn 15 in May.
Damn.
These teens who are at risk in group homes to begin with, there's a lot going on in their lives, but we still don't know what happened, who she went with, and they're really trying to narrow down those final hours.
Yeah, they're going to have to. I think now that they can identify that this was her, these are her remains, and pin down the last time she was seen alive. Now it's okay. Did anybody see anything or know anything in that time frame at the end of January? Who was she talking to? Had she met anybody maybe online or on social media? She was 14, young, but a lot of teens have these kind of apps. She ran away. Did she run away, and was there somebody off the 60 that may have?
Again, these are all really good questions that they're asking, and these are all the things that we want to know. And the big question of the day, nobody knows why she was in the group home. Okay, now there could be speculations that her mom was a user of, pills, whatever, a Jen Soto, but we don't know. It's not confirmed. Hi, Patricia, how you doing? We don't know. It's off the reservation, and 89 other children, the same missing. We're going to get to that. Just trigger warning, you guys. Trigger warning. That's all I got to say. But this lady's asking really good questions, and I do think there may be a serial killer out there. You're going to see there's another girl, another guy right in the area, 30 other children from the same group home gone missing.
Picked her up. I don't know. And that's what we need to find out from investigators. But it's a multi-jurisdictional investigation. Now you've got so many people involved, and it could be that one of them requests help from the FBI. It hasn't happened yet.
Is the FBI involved? Not yet.
Not yet. I talked to them and asked, but it's not uncommon for them to get involved in a major investigation like this when it's from tribal land and with somebody who is part of a tribe.
Gosh, so many questions. Just devastating.
Yeah, so many questions, guys. And here's the thing, as I was going to tell you, is that I started digging into this story, and I was like, man, maybe it is what Krista's saying. Maybe it's just somebody that doesn't like the indigenous, but I don't think so. I think it's something in that area. Yes, something's going on in the area. However, it's something bigger than that, because how the heck did they get into that area? How the heck did they get into the area and then take another little girl's life and then another guy? It's not just targeted to indigenous people, and the body was found 100 miles away. So I don't. But why traffic? That's what I don't understand. Why dismember someone if you're gonna traffic them? I mean, she wasn't even missing a full month. It just doesn't sound. It doesn't sound plausible. When you hear the whole story, you might think again what you're saying, you guys. I think you guys might be thinking twice. Butterfly kisses, you're getting close. You're getting very close. That's where we're headed to right now. That's where we're getting to right now. Blessed on purpose, you're getting warm. All right, so the statement from the community. Like the community, the department was shocked, saddened to learn about the horrific murder of Emily Pike. We support law enforcement in their efforts. Now, this is from the community, the Apache tribal to find and hold accountable the person who committed this heinous crime and all those who target vulnerable children, particularly those in foster care. This is creepy. This time, at this time, the department does not believe any action taken or not taken by the group home caused the terrible outcome in this case. We have opened a licensing inquiry to determine whether appropriate steps were taken by the group home during this incident. I'm going to tell you guys, it's shady AF. And the questions that this guy gets asked and the reports that are being made and not being made, I feel like this statement is just to like not let them know what they have. I think that that's what's happening. Yeah, it's not just about indigenous, but this is a big part of it right now. Yeah, it could be. It could be. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going there. They hide their hands. They hid her hands because they might have fingerprints. My children had their prints done in elementary school. It could be, guys. It could be. It could be all of the above. What's up, Deb? Yeah, this is a heavy one. Again, trigger warning. Let's get into the next part. I just want to update you guys. We're go 2 days ago, and then we're gonna move backwards a little bit, and then we'll get into the group home and his questions, and then I'll talk to you about the indigenous people and the likelihood of them going missing, them being, them dying, etc. Statistics on them. I'll talk about that as well so that you guys can know exactly what we're talking about. I feel like it's two situations being put into one. It might be two things happening, but it's all combined. And yes, we do need to give indigenous people a second look and more opportunities. We need to put a lot more better law enforcement. There's a lot we need to do. We have 3 big action items today that I'll talk to you about after this. This is an update.
Being offered in the murder case of a young girl that has gotten national attention. The San Carlos Apache tribe promising up to $75,000 to anybody who provides investigators with information leading to an arrest in the case of Emily Pike. She went missing from her group home and was later found violently murdered. Thank you for joining us for 12 News. 12 News journalist Gabriela Becerra live in Guadalupe. A vigil for Emily Pike just ended, and now this big reward, Gabby. What's going on out there?
Well, Troy, the emotions surrounding this case are still very raw. The vigil just ended, but earlier today, dozens of people gathered to walk and pray in honor of Emily Pike. And just over my shoulder, you can still see there's one man that remains at the top of the hill lighting candles. The organizers of that vigil tell me they're hoping events like this one will not only bring justice to Emily's case, but also raise awareness for other missing and murdered Indigenous women. Now, 14-year-old Emily Pike first went missing in late January after leaving a group home in Mesa. Investigators have surveillance video of Pike walking in the area of Mesa Drive and McKellips Road. Nearly 3 weeks later, Pike's remains were found on Valentine's Day in a wooded area outside of Globe. Investigators with the Gila County Sheriff's Office tell us they do not believe Pike was killed where her remains were found. Pike's story has touched people not only here in Arizona, but across the country. So along with that,
and what we're trying to do is spread this to not just national, but international. It sounds like a lot of you guys are picking up on this. Grizzly True Crime covered this. I just saw Annie Elise covering it. Hidden True Crime is covering it. I mean, this is it's heartbreaking and it's evil, you guys. Darlene says, I'm surprised they didn't have something like that on Indigenous property. They usually don't like them in a group home that's not Indigenous, if I remember. Well, that's a problem. The whole Indigenous, the whole thing, not Indigenous. I said that because of you talking about them having their own group home. The whole thing, there's a lot of mystery around that group home, you guys. And first of all, like I said, they're going to have call to actions. I have call to actions to you guys all today and to everyone. The call to action, the group home took 1 week to let her mom know she was missing. And 3 weeks later, her body was found dismembered. Again, her hands and legs were missing. Severe trauma to her face and head, which shows a lot of anger, you guys. 100 miles away. They don't see it, that it was a crime scene. They believe it was a dump site. Number one call to action is to find the person that did this to her, or that did this to, I'm going to tell you about another girl, same area, similar circumstances. Secondly, we want to find out what's happening at that group home, because another girl in the same group home is still missing. And that's on top of the 89 calls in 3 years. 42 kids were missing. 30 had gone missing specifically from that group home. And when they interviewed this guy, he doesn't even answer the questions in a way that you, me, or deception detective would think is some alerts are going, big alerts, right? So we want to say Emily Pike's name over and over and over. Everybody wants his case to go international instead of just national, right? Or United States. And the reason it took so long and it was so slow is because San Carlos, what we think is their Apache Services tribe, doesn't need to contact police, and there are no Amber Alerts. Okay. So that's sad. I don't know why that's allowed to happen. I feel like that should be changed with the things that are happening right here and right now. What's up, Avis? How you doing? Good to see you. Yes, we love you. We love everyone. They love Emily Pike. Hashtag Emily Pike, you guys.
New $75,000 reward. The chairman of the San Carlos Apache tribe announced it also commissioned an independent study to figure out how to prevent further cases like Emily's.
That's very helpful, and it's encouraging to know that hopefully that people won't be afraid to speak out and what they know. And that's a lot of the times that people are afraid to speak out. As for today, you can see that we are not afraid to speak out again.
And that might be something to it. I'm going to get into the statistics after. You see that on her mouth? I mean, the fact that it's on her mouth and the hands are cut off, you guys, you're absolutely right. But this is happening over and over. I mean, before I even knew what any of this meant and like fully dived into this, think about how scary that is, not just for the kids, but for everybody in the community. But the handprint. No, the handprint doesn't mean silence. I believe they won't be silenced. And I'm going to go into that after. I'm going to let you know about the indigenous people and what they do and why. I got to tell you a little more about it. But that's their symbol. That's their symbol. Brutal death sparked outrage. I got the teen vigil. So yeah, that's weird. And I don't believe in coincidences when there's a handprint and they use that as their symbol. And I believe it's to not be, it's a sign they use for, but it's to not be silenced. What does that exactly mean? I'm going to read it, but it's signifying, that's what I thought. They won't be silenced anymore. And I've seen that over and over the last year or two. But imagine that being your symbol and then getting your hands chopped off and your head beaten in. I want to speak about it. I absolutely want to speak about it. That's a symbol for MMIW. Yeah, I'm going to get into that afterwards. So I want to answer the questions. And no, Gray Hughes didn't do anything to me. I saw the question, guys. What I told you about Gray Hughes being creepy is correct. But somebody asked me a question about the video yesterday. And I don't want to get off topic from him. I just want to, from this case, but just go back and watch that. A lot of people think that GHI is very creepy. I'm not the only one. All right. Yes. All right, guys, let's keep going so we can have enough time to get in all of this.
That's what's wrong. So hopefully that does bring, Emily to have justice and others as well.
Yeah, that's.
And Chairman Terry Rambler also says the upcoming month of May will be dedicated to honoring the memory of all tribal members who are missing or murdered. In a statement, Rambler says, in part, this will be a time to stand with all families that have lost a piece of their soul to this crisis. This is a time to work together to resolve unanswered questions. So anyone with information about Emily's case is asked to contact investigators. Several agencies are taking part of this investigation, including the Gila County Sheriff's Office. We have all of their contact information on 12news.com. Live in Guadalupe.
Now remember, this could be something that we don't even find out until way later, until like the Lisk, right? Long Island serial killer. It can be that we don't find out until 20 years down the road that someone was connected to this. We don't want that to happen. I'm gonna let you listen to the group home interview. It's not very long. It's like 2 minutes and 10 seconds, and then I'm gonna get into the MMIW website. Murdered and missing Indigenous women is what it is. Okay, I just want you guys to all know. For those of you that don't, because when I do a deep dive, I have to learn all that. I don't want you guys to get off of my episode and say, I don't know what the hell Jay is talking about. All right. So MMIW is exactly what it stands for, is what I told you, and missing Indigenous women. Now, we've said it a few times. The only reason I care about this episode being monetized is because I wanted to be out there. Yesterday, I didn't give a SHIT. I was loud and proud, and yet I still got monetized. I just want this one too. Vanessa's sister vanished about 20 years ago. All right. You say he is creepy and begs or demands money. Too much is rude. Now, look at this guy you're seeing. Yeah, this is not me. This is YouTube thing. When I went, it's a StreamYard. I'm sorry, guys, but StreamYard didn't even want to let me stream today. StreamYard didn't want to let me stream. It kicked me off at first and said there were too many people on it. So if I'm glitching, it's not my router. It's either StreamYard or YouTube. Sorry. Love you too. Right back at you. All right. So that's the group home. That's the guy, the group home guy that I told you. All right. This is the group home manager that's speaking out about it. And over the last 3 years, 89 calls, 42 missing, 30 gone missing specifically from this home. And we're going to listen to about the calls after this. So let's listen to what he has to say.
Hurts to know that she's not going to be around.
Ulrich Pike Jr. smiles, remembering his niece, 14-year-old Emily Pike.
You got to look at that smile to see that, she had full of life.
Emily living in a group home in Mesa when she...
I thought this was the group home. Maybe, let me look real quick. It says group home responds, and if not, I'll tell you after.
Was reported missing. Family says it took about a week before they were notified. On Valentine's Day, Emily was found dismembered off US 60 northeast of Globe.
She's become a symbol, and we've just got to keep raising awareness on missing and murdered Native Americans.
Right now, Allred says his brother Emily's dad is trying to get special permission to attend his daughter's funeral because currently he's behind bars.
That's the hardest part, is my brother's not able to be here until when she went missing, he was calling and asking if she had been found yet.
He says right now their focus is planning Emily's funeral and waiting on the investigation to play out.
On our end, we just don't want nobody else to go through this. And if this individual is brought to justice, okay, we got somebody off the street that can't hurt anybody anymore.
Wednesday, for the first time, we were able to speak with one of the group home managers who says if a child leaves the home without permission, it's their policy to immediately contact police and the DCS hotline. We were told this whole situation has taken a toll on staff and kids and put everyone in crisis. ABC 15 investigators trying.
All right, here they go. And then I'll get into the missing and Indigenous, and then I will get into the calls from this place. You guys might have definitely changed your mind after this, and thank you all the mods that are here today. I'm glad everyone's being so sweet and loving and kind today in chat. It always makes my job a lot easier, which is not a easy job to do this. Especially with these kind of circumstances for a 14-year-old little girl, guys. So thank you. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, sorry if I'm glitching out. What's up, Vanessa? How you doing? All love to all of you guys. All right, this is they're going to go check out the group home employee.
Trying to speak with the group home administrators, but we could not find them at their listed addresses. The Arizona Department of Child Safety has opened a licensing inquiry into the group home where Emily had been living. Emily and her family, members of the San Carlos Apache tribe. The team wasn't in the care of DCS, but we've learned the state does have a contract with the home.
Being found the way she was and just hearing what was done to her, it's traumatizing. I try not to think about it.
Wednesday, a new bill that would activate an emergency alert system when an Indigenous person goes missing passed through the Senate Public Safety Committee and will now head to the full Senate. Emily's family says any action is positive. For Arizona Tonight, I'm Ashley Holden.
All right.
Great to know that she's.
There actually is a group home employee that responds. This says he responds. It must have just been a written response. I have what he responded to, and his questions were, or his answers were pretty terrible. So let me get into the, I don't know where that is, but we're going to do it more of a deep dive on this anyway. All right. So for you guys that are wondering, the handprint and the the MMIW, that's what it is right here. It's particularly women, but there's a man that his life was taken right there, and another little girl, you guys, right in the same area. And we'll listen to the calls after. Not looking for Tiff. They didn't do anything for a week, and then they found her 3 weeks later. They definitely should have been, and all need to have ambulance. Yeah, why is that? Why are they still doing it that way? Doesn't that seem archaic? I'm struggling with this group home. I don't understand why there's so many kids. Yes, Avis, 30 that vanished over the last 3 years. 89 calls that are missing, 42 that went missing, 89 calls about it, 42 that went missing, and 30 that just vanished. That's a lot. That's a lot. I don't know why they don't have about the young native boys. I don't know. I'm just getting into this too. Isn't that, Rachel? How that's a lot. That's a lot. They're policing themselves. So, okay, women, the MMIW, and I put this inside of my description so you can go there and check it out. It talks about 2016 national crime information, 5,712 cases of missing American Indian and Alaska Native women. I'm not going to read this whole thing, but I wanted to give you statistics so you understand. Now, Indigenous women, it says girls also, are, I'm going to just use the word murdered 10 times higher than all other ethnicities. Now, if you look at those numbers, you guys, you understand why. You understand why. We're not just talking about Emily Pike. We are talking about Emily Pike, but we're also talking about the next one's going to be another little girl in that same area, and then 30 other ones from the same home. But just to understand the MMIW, third leading cause of death of Indigenous women, Centers for Disease Control. It's hard for me to say this every time. So the M word, we're going to say M word is the third leading cause. Someone taking someone's life. More than 4 out of 5 Indigenous women have experienced violence. 84.3% said National Institute. But imagine the ones that don't report it, you guys. If they're policing themselves, then who's reporting it? Now, more than 50% of the Indigenous women experience CSAM stuff, that stuff, guys, that kind of violence, the stuff Stephen Stern was doing to Maddie. Now, more than 50% of women have also been physically abused by their partner, 55.5%. Now, that was still a 555. So say a prayer for Emily Pike. These are giant statistics, you guys. Less than half of the Indigenous women have been stalked in their lifetime. 48.8%. Indigenous women are 1.7 times more likely than Anglo-American women to experience violence. Indigenous women are 2 times more likely to be raped than Anglo women, white women. The red rum rate of Indigenous women is 3 times higher than the Anglo-American women. That's why you know why they have that organization that does that, right? Okay. All right. Now we're talking. Now let's get into the calls from that group home and what I've been telling you about. My goodness. And happy Wednesday. If you guys needed to know the weather report, there it is. That's crazy. You guys, those statistics, I rely on statistics many times, but they're not always accurate because people don't report everything. But yes, sus AF. And whose birthday is it? Nettie? Happy belated birthday, Nettie. Or happy birthday month. How about that? Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Edith. Welcome, Susan. Welcome, everybody here. Anna says there's a huge alcohol problem. It's banned in Alaska. Yeah, well, it's banned in Alaska, but they definitely get it over there. And you know what their favorite thing is in Alaska and indigenous people love? They call that ice. Do you know what that is? Ice? That's the same thing as METH, but much stronger. The red hand is symbolic. Yes, it's a symbolic thing. But imagine the red hand being symbolic and then getting your hands cut off. Welcome, Thomas Karras. Never too late. Never too late. Well, happy birthday month, Nettie. We celebrate birthdays all month long around here. So happy birthday. All right. I know you guys came for the weather. Let's do it. Let's do the weather report. All right. Now we're going to talk about the records of the group home where Emily Pike lived.
Think of the murder of a young girl. A bill that would create an alert system for missing Indigenous people unanimously passes a Senate committee. And it comes as investigators are still working to find the person or people who killed young Emily Pike. And we're also learning more about the group home where Emily was living. 12 News journalist Bianca Bono joins us live now with more. Bianca.
Troy, we've obtained records and data from the Mesa Police Department giving us more insight into the amount of times they've been called to the group home where Emily lived. That includes the 30 missing persons reports taken over the past 3 years.
What?
I testified.
At the Capitol Wednesday, Gila River Indian Community Governor Stephen Rowe Lewis fighting back tears as he talks about Emily Pike.
All right, you guys get your deception detective hats on and whatever, and just pay attention what we're talking about. Things that are going weird. And remember, after we listen to this, we're going to talk about 2 other missing people right there in that area. We just heard about 30. So, right? 30. There's 89, 42, and 30. All right.
Advocating for a bill that would create an alert system for missing Indigenous people.
I testified in early February that this legislation is critical. But little did I know at that time, Emily Pike had been missing for weeks.
On January 27th, the 14-year-old girl from the San Carlos Apache tribe went missing from the group home in Mesa where she had been living. And on Valentine's Day, her remains were discovered, showing she had been dismembered. Lewis wonders what would have happened had an alert been issued.
Would Emily be alive today?
Emily's case is not the first missing persons case stemming from that same Mesa group home, which 12 News is not identifying.
And then right after this, I'm going to show you another little girl that never showed up again right after this. And then even a man that happened to, you guys. So if you guys have your thinking caps on and you're stepping outside of any box, I just can't see this any other way. Now, I see 2 things. I see a serial red rummer somewhere. I see it sending a message, but I also see something that's not good surrounding that, like really evil in that area, obviously. And how does that happen? What is happening in the house? And how can we find out? That's what I want to know. I want you guys to tell me what you think in the comments as we go. Remember, the more you communicate, the better chance you have at winning a membership. All right. I can't give specific memberships to specific people, but I can give them away. Right. I wish I could. Somebody messaged me last night and asked me for a membership. I would love to, but they don't let me do it that way. All right. Marilyn Cruz says my son was in a group home that used to abuse him. They would not call if he leaves the facility. Well, this one, and again, prayers for you, Marilyn. I'm sorry that happened. The black hand means no hate. Yeah, the black hand does, but what about the red hand? Remember the black hand with the Zulocks? That's all I'm going to say. Let's get back to this.
For privacy reasons. Mesa police say there were 3 prior calls involving Emily back in 2023. And in the past 3 years, police data shows there have been 89 calls for service to the group home. 42 of those were for a missing person. 30 of those calls resulted in reports being taken. The reason a report would not be taken can vary, but can often be because the person was quickly found.
Every child deserves to be safe.
January Contreras leads Children's Action Alliance and advocates advocates for less children to be placed in group homes.
I come back to the solution of supporting families, supporting grandparents, many grandparents, aunts, uncles ready to step in. We need to do that, and we need to recruit more foster homes as well.
DCS says while it doesn't believe any action taken or not taken by the group home caused the terrible outcome in Emily's case.
That's BS, guys. I'm not going to believe that. Now, I hope that they're really saying that and then working behind the scenes, because that just doesn't happen. Dismemberment takes time and makes or leaves a lot of evidence. Agreed. It was at a different scene. They believe that was absolutely not the crime scene. And I'm sure that was absolutely not the first one that they've considered. What's up, Ashton Lee? How you doing, my friend? Reservations are considered sovereign nations, aren't they? That's a good question. You guys could answer that. The red hand was dead urges us to be quiet, but we will not stop speaking up for the vulnerable. Thank you, Nettie. Absolutely. All right. I don't know how they don't think that 89 calls, 42 missing, and 30 gone doesn't add up to the group home doing something wrong.
They've opened a licensing inquiry to determine whether appropriate steps were taken by the group home, as investigators still work to find Emily's killer. And Governor Lewis's bill advances at the legislature. Contreras hopes Emily's tragic death leads to change. And we have asked Mesa Police how many missing persons cases stemming from that group home over the past 3 years remain open today. They're combing through their data to find that answer for us. And the last update I received from the Gila County Sheriff's Office was that they are continuing to turn up new leads in Emily's case, but still no suspects have been identified. We're live in studio tonight. Bianca Bono, 12.
All right, let's get out of here, you guys, because there's another teen still missing from the same group home where Emily Pike lived before her life was taken. Let's check that out. You guys see where I'm going with this, and I'm going to go with it all episode long until they look into it and do something more than just give us a statement, because that's ridiculous. All right, so another girl still missing, same group home.
Murder of 14-year-old Emily Pike continues. We're uncovering more about the Mesa group home where she was living before she was killed. Good evening, and thanks so much for joining us. For 12 News at 10, I'm Kariba Devine.
I'm Mark Curtis. Thanks for joining us. Emily Pike went missing from the home in late January. And tonight, we're learning another teen from that same group home has been missing now for nearly a year.
12 News journalist Bianca Bono is joining us live from the newsroom to explain. Bianca?
Well, shortly after Pike's remains were found, we learned from Mesa Police that they had taken 30 missing persons reports stemming from that same group home over the past 3 years.
And that wasn't even correct what she said. That's great that she said that, but it was actually 89 that dwindled to 42 and 30 that they didn't solve or nobody did anything about. We can find out if the police see a pattern. DCS is full of it. The FBI can be invited in because the children were moved beyond the borders of a sovereign land. It's like crossing state lines. Well, if this isn't enough for them to do something, I don't know what is. Usually, almost always, it's one of their own. So horrific. I think that monster is amongst them. Either two things. Either the children from the group home are running from something, or somebody's taking them from there to somewhere else. And maybe with Emily, again, hashtag Emily Pike, she fought. She didn't, she wasn't going to be silenced, and they took her life. Maybe, I don't know. Joel's group home. Some don't know how to treat kids. I know there's a lot of group homes like that. My son was abused there. He was abusing there. I was going back and forth to bring him home when I went to the group home. Yeah, it's interesting how children end up there sometimes and what happens. The circumstances are always so off the chart. But this particular one, there's a problem.
We asked if any of those cases remain open today, and we learned that one does. According to the Mesa Police Department, another teenage girl is missing from the same group home where Emily Pike was living before she was murdered and has been missing for
Damn,
close to
dude.
a year. Emily Pike was last seen in January in the area of McKellips Road and Mesa Drive after leaving the group home. And on Valentine's Day, the 14-year-old girl's remains were discovered in trash bags an hour and a half away in a remote area near Globe. After Pike's horrific death, Mesa police confirmed over the past 3 years, they've taken 30 missing persons reports involving residents of that same group home, and one of those residents remains missing to this day. 17-year-old Veronica Cruz was last seen on.
All right, you guys. Hashtag Veronica Cruz as well. Same group home. Still missing. I wonder what happened with the other ones, you guys. Like, I really wonder what happened with the other ones. Are they reporting this right? What's going on with that? And then we still got another. There's a man that's also in that same area, which I'll talk about next. So I don't know. Is this limited to the group home? Is it? I mean, where's this coming from, and why are they going so far? People go where they're familiar. They didn't go that far out. Did they really want them to be found? They know that was a hiking place that somebody's going to find them. Why not go farther out? What kind of statement are they making? I mean, we got to think about all this because look at the Lisk. Look at the Lisk serial killer. He just barely was caught, and we don't even know that it's him. So thank you, Tiff. I cash apped you to gift some memberships. I will do that. It's not letting me gift them. That happens to me on other channels sometimes. So thank you, Tiff. I appreciate you. I'll do that. Thank you. Everybody, thank Tiff. She's our newest mod, and she provides the merch. So thank you. Appreciate you. Welcome, Rosalie. Thank you. Hashtag Veronica Cruz. It's not limited to Emily Pike. And why isn't this girl getting the attention? Is it because they haven't found her yet? Why didn't we hear about this one?
On May 18th last year, around 4:55 p.m., reported missing by group home staff. Her photo and information featured on the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children's website. But despite that, when 12 News reached the group home's CEO for comment about Cruz's whereabouts, she said she believes Cruz is safe, though she does not know who Cruz is with or where she is. She added that Cruz turns 18 next month. When 12 News followed up with Mesa Police, asking about the CEO's statement, a police spokesperson said an investigator needs to physically see that Cruz is okay before changing any case status. And due to her age, which is still 17, she would have to be taken to her guardian and not just released. Mesa Police encourages anyone with information about her whereabouts.
I mean, they're making them jump hoops, and why aren't they tapping lines or looking at records? I wonder what their records look like in that group home. Something has to be done, you guys. I'm gonna say, Norma, you can always tell when I'm reporting on something. I'm very biased most of the time. Yes, I said it. I'm very biased most of the time. Hence the name of my channel, Guilty of Crime, because when somebody's guilty of a crime, I'm quick to point them out. I'm quick to, that's why I like studying serial killers, etc., because they're guilty of crime. And usually when I see something and you look at the clues and it points somewhere, that's where you should be looking. So yes, I said it. I'm very biased. They should question every worker, every person. They should be looking at their records. They should be looking at phones. They should be looking at cameras. Any kind of evidence they should be looking at. That could be blessed on purpose. Absolutely, I agree.
Whereabouts to call them and let them know. And I did follow up with the group home CEO asking if any efforts are being made to get Cruz back into the care of either the home or a guardian. She has not responded to that question. DCS has opened a licensing inquiry to determine whether appropriate steps were taken by that group home in Emily Pike's case. Now, back to the Pike investigation. A task force has now been created consisting of local and federal law enforcement agencies that are investigating her death. They've also now set up a centralized tip line, which you can find on our website, 12news.com. Bianca Bono, 12 News.
All right, Bianca, thank you.
My goodness, guys. All right, so I'm gonna put a video on now. There's another man in that area. Authorities investigating after man found dead in the same area as Emily Pike. This is not just limited to, and I don't even know, I didn't even get to look into what nationality he was or anything like that. I was looking up Emily Pike and I said, wait, what? Soto equals guilty of crime. Oh, I love you. Here you go. Trigger warning. Hashtag evil potato. Janet Rawlings says you get true crime family on your butt. You'll be found 100%. I agree. I choked. Oh, man. It's crazy, right? It's really important to find the person that did this to Emily because they'll probably solve other missing girls' cases. And what about this guy that was found right there and did he do something to himself? I don't even know the circumstances. Was he involved in the trafficking and somebody took him out because it was getting close? Like, why? How is that? Wouldn't you be concerned if it was in your area and you have this little girl missing, another one that's been missing, 30 other ones that went missing, and then you've got this guy right after that? What? What's up, Starzy? How you doing? I mean, this is not just Emily Pike, though. I gotta say, huge prayer, Emily Pike. We're here for you. We want to give you a voice on this channel. We want everyone to see this. Emily Pike is opening up the door for something that's bigger to come. I'm telling you right now, something bigger has to come out of this. And yes, Heathen 74, I agree. Innocent until proven guilty. But my channel is called Guilty of Crime. And I started it out by looking at evidence and looking at the people initially who were already guilty of crime, that have already been convicted, that we know for sure did this. So I'm not telling you anybody on here that I think did it. I don't know who did it, but I use my spidey senses and statistics and what points to who, and then I use common sense and logic, and there you go. So yes. What is up, my girl? Happy birthday, Carrie. It was her birthday this weekend. Happy birthday, Carrie. Carrie, we have new merch. And I think you might like it. Some of it's really cool. I think some of it you might like. We got some limited edition rainbow stuff. We got long sleeve. We got hoodies. We got bracelets. I consider you one of my crime crew, Carrie, so I'd like to give you something. All right? Happy birthday to you. Yes, happy birthday. All right, listen up. There's another guy right here also missing after they found Emily Pike.
Emily Pike's remains were recovered nearly 100 miles away from where she was last seen alive.
Now, you guys know I don't believe in coincidences, right? Oh yeah, the hoodie's legit. And I'm sorry, I'm sorry, you guys, I'm doing this. This is not, it's just me wanting to make the community bigger and stronger. I want you guys to all be in the guilty of crime community. That's why we chose to go really low price with great quality. Yeah, the hoodie is legit. You'll love it. It'll keep you warm. It's comfy, soft. I got you, girl. I got you. Happy birthday, girl. All right. I want our community here to be strong. I want guilty of crime community to be that strong that you guys can come to me if you know something, see something, say something, help us out. What Carrie does is she helps me out. I can say, Carrie, I need help researching something, and Carrie will say, okay, I'm on it, or I already know about that, or whatever. And she's not officially working with the guilty of crime crew, but she works directly with me. So any of you guys could do that. Send me an email, go to guiltyofcrime.com, and you'll get my email. Contact me if you have something to say, see something, say something, see something, do something, like Thomas Karras. All right. And thank you, Carrie. I appreciate you. Happy birthday, Carrie. We love you. We love you, Susan. Soto, guilty of crime. The guilty of crime in the house proved and continues to prove it. Absolutely. Yes, you are my friend. I appreciate you, girl. You don't know how much. It's hard to find good friends out there.
alive. And tonight we have learned it's not the first time that same area has been the site of a murder investigation. Could the cases be connected? Here's true crime.
All right, there you go. And if you haven't already heard this, prices are great. Best I have in any. Yeah, they are really. I made sure they're really freaking low, but with good quality because I want you guys to all have them. I wish I could give them out to everybody. How much are the sweatshirts, Tiff? I think the sweatshirts are like maybe $35, $40. I don't know, but I paid 70 for dollies. Tiff knows the prices. How much are the hoodies, Tiff? Anyway, let's get back to this. Did you hear what I just said? Are these connected? And yes, it really is hard to find good friends. Tiff knows the prices. Like I can't tell you right now because I'm trying to connect these bodies. This is another body found in the area, and can it be connected to not only Emily but the other missing? I can't remember her name now. I should have wrote it down. This is 3 bodies right here, guys.
Could the cases be connected? Here's true crime correspondent Brianna Whitney.
We are right off the US 60 at milepost
Come on,
277. This is where you go to start to get where 14-year-old Emily Pike's remains were found. You can see here people have been out here bringing flowers, showing signs of support. But now we know in 2021, a native man was found dead right here too, down to the same exact milepost, and confirmed.
Okay, guys, so it's a native man that I didn't even know if he was native or if he was what. I wasn't sure. So this tells you three bodies that are not alive, and then on top of that, 30 at the same home, guys. What do you think? Yes, hoodies are only 40 bones, you guys. 40 bones, not 70. Although I'll show you when I get to 70. It better be a blanket.
Confirmed tonight, his murder is still unsolved too.
Yes,
I want to show you
native.
how close together these two crime scenes are. That's the US 60.
If you guys take away anything from this episode today, first of all, hashtag Emily Pike. Number 1, say her name. Number 2, we want to find the person that did this. And number 3, let everybody know that there's more deaths connected to this case. And we believe that this case is not an isolated incident, that there's something bigger going on. Then, of course, I ask you to share the episode because I want that to be connected. What's up, my beautiful Rosie? All right, let's keep going.
Behind me, we're now on Forest Service Road 355, and it's here that Gila County Sheriff's officials tell us this is where Emily Pike's remains were found. They tell us the 14-year-old's remains were discovered by people who were hiking on this trail here, and that's who called police. Now we know they were found down here, dismembered in contractor trash bags. Her hands and her arms are still missing. It's been more than a month now since they have been discovered. I talked to the Gila County.
That's a message. That's got to be a message when the hands and the arms are missing, you guys. Kimberly Johnson says I-5 runs through my state. There's an I-5 killer. Foxy Amazon says Serenity Walgren, 14-year-old missing since December in the same area. Yes. Now, Nettie, we just talked about 30 missing, and we just talked about now 4. We've got Serenity, we've got Veronica, we've got Emily Pike, and we've got this man we're talking about. That's a lot. That's a lot, guys. That's a lot. And yeah, that could be a trophy that they took, but more than likely they're sending a message. All right. Definitely a pattern. And this is the first time I heard about this, you guys. I'm not trying to just like toot my own horn, but I was digging into this case today with the help of Synth. Thank you, Synth. I was digging through the stuff you sent me, and I don't even know if you came to this conclusion, Synth, because I didn't see how you had it like all put together. It was just a puzzle that I put together, and I said, "Wait a minute, what? Something's going on." So this is in the early stages. All this stuff is coming out, so I'm pretty sure something is going on, something like bigger than what we thought was going on. I didn't know that. All right, let's keep going. I'm like, you guys see how passionate I get about this.
County Sheriff's Office today. Their officials and detectives tell me they're making progress in this case, but right now there are still several important unknowns they're trying to figure out.
We don't have a weapon. We've not recovered any kind of weapon. Cause of death is still under investigation by the ME's office. We're investigating those leads. None of those, as of yet, have pointed us to a definite suspect or person of interest.
The cries for justice for Emily have been loud. Several vigils held in honor of the San Carlos Apache teen who ran away from a Mesa group home she was living at on January 27th. The Gila County Sheriff's Office is getting help from many agencies, including the FBI. And new tonight, they've created an official task force on the case to funnel leads and tips. Well, now we've learned Emily's homicide is not the only one being investigated here. It was back in September of 2021 when the Gila County Sheriff's Office and DPS got a call.
Yeah, that's crazy. And this is just starting to come out. And I just put these on for honor of you, Carrie. I got them too. I like using them for Easter. They're awesome. You can do Easter egg hunt and film it. You can hear out of the earphones. But yeah, anyway, I'm not I'm just talking to Carrie. I'm not like promoting these. Marilyn Cruz says that group home just has to investigate what's going on. How old are the kids? This sounds right. I just pray those kids are missing. They still haven't found them. I pray. That's just a large number for somebody not to be looking at them. Hashtag Emily Pike. Let's call it what it is. Indigenous crime is finally getting the attention Indigenous people deserve. I'm going to finish your sentence. All right. You got the same color ones? Nice. Happy birthday to you, girlfriend. Happy birthday. Yeah. You're my other twinsy. I got a Leo twinsy and a Ray-Ban twinsy. I wish I can get gift. You have a membership. Oh, Patreon membership. I wonder if I could do that. Let me play this and gift you guys some memberships. Hold on. People are dropping out. You guys hit the like button on your way out.
And found a Native man shot to death multiple times in his car parked right here at milepost 277 off the US 60, just like Emily. Today we learned his murder is unsolved. Here's what we know. Sheriff's deputies identified him as 31-year-old Leo Harry White, a man from White River. He was found by DPS troopers and deputies after somebody called in a welfare check for the car in the pullout area. The detective telling me today there are some leads in his case, but no arrests in his murder either.
Damn.
Officials with the sheriff's office say there is one very key difference between Emily Pike and Leo White's murders.
It is a little different than that one. It looks like the homicide actually took place there where the subject was found in a vehicle. This one with Emily, of course, we believe that she was killed somewhere else, and then that is where she was dropped off.
For that reason, and because of differences in the crime scenes, sheriff's deputies don't have any reason to believe these two cases are related, even though they are in the same area, and they are both open and ongoing. As part of that task force in Emily's case, GCSO is now taking tips on their social media pages, and they hope as people pour in information about Emily's case, maybe somebody will also have a tip about Leo White's murder.
Right. And you guys, hopefully they can start finding connections and pieces, and hopefully they are already doing that. But I really, really, really want the one takeaway I want from today is I want to hear very, very soon that they're looking into the group home to see who's working there, maybe they can do background checks, maybe they can look into the paperwork of people coming and going. Maybe they can find out why they're there. I don't know, but you guys, they should be doing something. This is not coincidental. My birthday was a few days ago. Got a new computer chair. You know you're getting old when the chair is awesome. Happy birthday, Star Z. Happy birthday month. I feel you. I feel you. All right. Congrats all new members. Years ago, I5 Serial would actually right. Dang, that's crazy. I don't even remember that. I gotta look back into that. Sounds relevant to each other. Sounds strange. Yeah, and we don't believe in coincidences and true crime now, do we? No, we don't. There's a serial unaliver, the hatred for indigenous, right? All right, let's get through this. I can't even believe we've been here this long.
And cold case too. Reporting in Gila County tonight, Brianna Whitney for Arizona's Family.
All right. Man, we've been here for quite some time already. I think most of what I wanted to say was what I said. And there's so much of a deep dive to do on this case. I do want to talk about particularly her. So let's do that in one more clip. I have other information to share, but this can go on for hours, you guys. We'd be here for forever doing this. Hold on. I did not show you this one yet, I don't think. The special kind of evil. In case a young girl has gotten national attention. I don't think I did this clip yet. Hold on. No, I didn't. I didn't hear this one yet. Hold on. All right. So this one's called A Special Kind of Evil. And this is solely focused on Emily Pike. I don't want to take away from her. There was a task force created for her. Actually, let me get into that. I'll get into that right after to wrap it up. There's a task force. Thank God that happened. Okay, there is one, and I'm going to tell you about it. Oh, I kind of told you there was a task force created, but it's for the Emily Pike case. Okay, now the family hopes that the $75,000 reward will help, leading to information. Sometimes it doesn't matter at all, but I'm hoping it is. I also don't know if any of you saw her vigil, the candlelight vigil. I want to show that on here and a couple other things. But yeah, thank you guys for all coming here. There's 164 people, which I'm really surprised because when we're not doing the Madeline Soto case, it's like womp womp. All right, let's keep going. I hope they find that monster. I wonder if it is trafficking. There may be many monsters. That's just so much. It's so much. Right. There are so many new names. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, they set up a task force, which is awesome. And they set up a task force in the name of Emily Pike. What do we want to know about this case? Well, it's all coming out. It's all coming out, and I want the updates on it, Carrie. I want to know what's next. So I just updated. I want to know why she was in that group home. I want to know why Emily Pike was in that group home. That has not come out yet. I want to hear from the group manager. Now, the group manager did speak out, but I cannot find it right now. He did speak out. It wasn't for very long. It was very sus. The way he answered questions was very potato soda. So group home manager, if you can find that interview, and then why the heck she was in a group home in the first place. They didn't report about that. No, they did. They didn't report about her they didn't even tell her mom she was missing for a week. License plate readers. All right. Special kind of evil. And then I'll talk about the task force, show you her vigil, and then we'll be peace out. Love you guys. You guys are the real deal. Appreciate you so very much. And thank you, Tiff. Tiff was the one that gifted those memberships. Did Stephanie Soto? Absolutely not. Nope. They do not like me, Indy. They're not going to answer me anything. And I don't blame them. Hashtag arrest Jen Soto, right? They're never gonna answer me. They definitely don't like me. I don't blame them. Native, and she does so much advocating. Love you, Millie. All right, let's keep going. Real quick, guys. Emily, wait, this is not the one I wanted to show you. Hold on. I want to show you a special kind of evil.
14-year-old girl was murdered, and her remains were discovered near Globe weeks after she went missing from a Mesa group home.
Did I show
There's
this
been
one?
an outpouring of support from the indigenous community in the valley, raising awareness about her death. However, investigators have yet to bring a suspect into custody. Good evening, and thanks so much for joining us. For 12 News at 10, I'm Kariba Devine.
I'm Mark Curtis. Tonight, we're hearing directly from the Gila County Sheriff's Office as they continue to investigate her brutal murder. 12 News journalist Bianca Bono is live in the newsroom. And Bianca, we know there have been no arrests yet, but have officials at least identified a suspect or a person of interest?
They have not, but I'm told they're aggressively pursuing countless leads. And with the help of the FBI and Bureau of Indian Affairs, they hope to solve this disturbing case as quickly as possible. How often are you guys getting tips and leads at this point?
Our detectives are getting calls almost around the clock.
Lieutenant Jim Lottie is with the Gila County Sheriff's Office, the lead agency investigating the murder of 14-year-old Emily Pike.
When you take into account the way in which Emily's remains were recovered and found, how does that impact your investigation?
It doesn't change how we investigate. It is definitely, in this particular case, I would use the description of a special kind of evil.
The 14-year-old girl with a contagious smile was a beloved member of the San Carlos Apache tribe. But on January 27th, she was last seen alive on foot near Mesa Drive and McKellips Road after leaving the Mesa group home where she lived.
There was some surveillance footage that the detectives are looking into.
What about the area where her remains were found?
In that area, that's such a rural area. There's like no housing, there's no businesses. It's just,
I remember it was 100 miles away, so the evidence that was at the crime scene is lost. Foxy left to go do your math. What? Yeah, she was a baby, and you know what? If Emily Pike is doing anything with her life, which is gone now, she's spreading awareness, and a lot of us are spiritual here, so. Anyway, say a prayer for Emily Pike. I haven't really caught any digits. I caught 555 earlier, but rest easy. Emily Pike, you are definitely helping your community right now by them assembling a task force and digging deeper. I really, really, really hope that they uncover something and change laws. Laws need to be changed.
Forests.
2 weeks after she was last seen, Emily's remains were found off the US 60 near Globe, her head and torso in trash bags. But investigators say they don't believe that's where she was killed. This week, the sheriff's office announcing the FBI and Bureau of Indian Affairs are assisting in the investigation. Mike Anderson is a retired FBI special agent.
The FBI will be involved in interviewing family, friends, acquaintances for information. Even the smallest breadcrumb can result in investigative leads. They will also be looking at her electronic footprint.
Right now, there are no.
I hope they look at her footprint and the other girl that was missing and the other people that went. I know it was in the middle of nowhere, Carrie. It was 100 miles out from where she was, and she was out at the. She was a member of the San Carlos Apache tribe. She was in a group home in Mesa, Arizona. Right? She was discovered on this last Valentine's Day, 100 miles away in Globe, Arizona, out in the middle of nowhere where some people were hiking. Now, I'm wondering if that they're just leaving a message out there. They knew people were going to go out there. I think that they could have probably hid those body parts if they wanted to. That's a huge desert area. They could have gone a lot farther and done something a lot different, yet they put them right there. So I don't know what kind of message they're leaving. I hope we do catch or get a person of interest soon.
Persons of interest, suspects, or arrests. Some of Emily's remains remain missing, though investigators have stated there is no active threat to the public.
Given the fact that the person or people who did this are still out there, how could
Now, I hadn't heard that, but Real Gemini says for her mental health treatment, they put her into that group home. But that doesn't seem like a really good place to go for mental health treatment, especially a place where 30 other people were missing, one missing still from last year. And then the guy the group home leader that sounds real shifty about what's going on. No one knows who it is that's working there. There's no background checks. There's nothing. So I don't understand. Cops found her on 19th, but didn't release any info on 19th when details. Yeah, they also didn't tell anybody that she was missing until even a week later. What? Someone's disrespecting? Message of disrespect? Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think so. I think that was part of it. But I haven't heard. Earlier I was looking and they said that they didn't have an official statement on why she was there. So it's not official. I'm just listening to you guys say that it was for mental health. That doesn't seem like a good place for mental health. It seems like that would do quite the opposite. All right.
can you assure public safety?
There isn't anything that we can point to say that, yes, there is a threat. We don't know yet, who our suspects are or the person of interest.
Emily's murder sending shockwaves throughout Indian country, sparking a greater conversation about missing and murdered Indigenous women, sharing Emily's name and story to ensure she is not forgotten.
The detective shared with me they're getting a lot of calls from people that are like, please don't let this case die, you know, keep looking, and a lot of concern and care. And that's one of the things I would say to the people out there. Yes, we appreciate the concern and the care, and we have just as much as we pursue this investigation.
And Emily's cause of death is still being investigated by the medical examiner's office. I asked if detectives have recovered DNA evidence from the scene where Emily's remains were found. The lieutenant was unable to comment. If you have any information about what happened to Emily Pike, contact the Gila County Sheriff's Office. We're live in the newsroom. Bianca.
All right, guys. You guys, thank you for still being here. There's 150 people in chat. I'm just going to show you the quick task force that they got put together, and then the quick clip of her vigil. I don't like to go too long because then people don't watch until the end or want to watch it because it's too long, even though I'm trying to get out as much info. So, like I said, task force created for Emily Pike. Family hopes $75,000 reward will lead to information. There's her vigil. Hundreds gather at the Apache Gold Casino for the candlelight vigil. February 2025, Gila County Sheriff Office found the dismembered body. They didn't even put the actual day. Now a multi-agency task force hopes to catch her killer. Emily, 14, was last seen near her group home at Mesa Drive on McKellips. I don't know that. We already talked about all this. I just want to show you the vigil real quick. It's almost 100 miles away. And then you see their flag, the community, the call for justice. I wonder if I can see it there. Why don't we take a look at that? That's cool. Here, let's look at some of their pictures so I can document it. Rest in peace, Emily Pike. Absolutely. All right. Some of their, it's always nice to see what the Indigenous stand for and what they're doing. All right. So that's all them for Emily. Justice for Emily Pike. And her name is spreading fast. It definitely is. You can see the people, the Indigenous, it's a lot. They're definitely banding together. I haven't seen this big of a turnout for a really long time, or maybe never. I think I've seen it in movies. Look, there's Emily Pike. The missing Indigenous, missing isn't now a problem. It's been going on. It has been, but Emily Pike is in her name, and what's happening is bringing it out. I've literally only seen this on like TV and movies. I've never really delved in to this problem, to be honest with you, Carolina. I've only been doing this true crime thing for the last year, so this case is really eye-opening. You're adorable, butterfly kisses. All right, let's look at these pictures so we can see what they've got going on there, and we'll all be that much more intelligent about these people and the case. The Indigenous people, they gather at the Apache Gold March 15th, 2025. It's a resort. It's a gold casino and resort. So, Carrie, if you're still here, it's interesting that you said a hotel, because Apache Gold Casino and Resort is a hotel. So, let me know if you're still in chat. It's interesting that you say that. All right. Everybody churning out. Hashtag MMIW, MMIP. Justice for Emily Pike. So sad. So sad. I hope something turns out. I hope they get a lead. Look at that. Justice for Amber Joy. There's another one, Foxy. Another one. And I'm sure there are plenty. No more stolen sisters and brothers. And then there you go. All right, let me see if I can pull this up, and then we'll wrap up here. All right, this is her vigil. Thank you for becoming a member, Starzy.
So many nations, the continents, and I wanted to come up here and share all of the places that her name has reached, her story.
That's as loud as I can go.
Switzerland, Argentina, Germany, Australia, France, Ireland, Denmark, Canada, Spain, Greece, Scotland, Italy, and so much more. So don't stop saying her name. Don't stop fighting for the ones that you love. Right here, I have a poster with names of people who are murdered, of people who are missing, people who are still needing justice. And Emily's name is on here.
Let's get
So
justice, guys.
Don't be afraid to speak her name. Let everyone know her story. She's making history for us Apache.
She
people.
is, yes.
She's making history for all
Yes.
the Native Americans that are missing out there, that are
She
getting murdered
is.
and nothing gets done about.
Yes.
So
I
many
agree.
people say, "Oh, I never knew that this many Native Americans were missing. I never knew that this was happening."
I'm
This
telling
is
you.
their land. They should be getting the justice that needs to be served.
Absolutely. Oh, listen. Oh, wow. That's crazy. That's not part of it, you guys, but they actually carried out a death sentence. All right. That was powerful. I'm glad that I played that clip for you guys. I don't want to document that into Emily Pike's situation, but I can't believe we've been here for an hour and 30 minutes, you guys. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for being here. There's so many cool designs, Suzanne. Go check out guiltyofcrime.com. But you know what? That was very powerful. The vigil. I wish there were a better record, more on there. Rachel Burton says my youngest son's a Native American from his dad's side. All right, you guys. I'm glad you guys spent the last hour and a half with me. I love you all. Keep coming back. I'll be back tomorrow, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern. Thank you guys for the support. Come back, like, subscribe, share, all that stuff. Yes, it does need to make the news. Ashton Lee says, I just had a thought. Since you ran away 3 times, she must have been pretty experienced. I bet these girls are pissing off staff, and that's why I would think it would be inside. You know why I would think it would be inside is because of the pure number of them. They're either running from something or someone's taking them from there to something. It just doesn't make sense statistic-wise. Half French and half Cherokee. What up? Had to open. You guys are so funny. Love to you, Starzy. Thank you for becoming part of the family, the official crime crew. Marlene, rest in peace for all of them. But yes, Emily Pike, you guys. Big girl for life. You lost your green status. No. I like that. That's what Grizzly says. No, don't go. Chatterbox, Norma, Gara, yeah, Patchy. Thank you, Krista, for being here. You guys have a wonderful evening. Go find something to watch. Love you too. Tiff, thank you so very much. Let's get those other things printed. I got some cool design I'm going to do. I'm going to go hug my little girl and thank God for her and all of you. I love you guys. God bless you as well. Have a good night. I'll see you back tomorrow. Peace out. Love you.
Guilty of crime.
I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my content, please share this video, like, and subscribe. You can also follow me over at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, or Gmail. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can use Cash App or Venmo or PayPal. Thank you very much in advance. Guilty of crime.
Are you guilty?